Ladies and gentlemen, how you guys doing today? I am Michael Seven Michael. We have with us Charles, aka Dixon, the man, the one and only Sensei Vegan.
What's happening, brother?
Happy New Year. We can still say Happy New Year, right?
Yeah. Happy, yeah.
How long can you say Happy New Year? Like, where is the
Till the next one. I'll tell everyone Happy New Year every day. I have to.
So I've been really Huluing and Netflix singing. Is that like a word now?
It is now.
It is now. And I've been checking out some shows that people have been telling me about, like The Runaways, for instance. Have you been able to check that out?
I took a break.
Oh, really?
I did. I now this is a bad thing for me.
Mm-hmm.
Once I get into the whole writing phase and editing and things like that, I sort of unplug myself to everything else around me in a sense.
Mm-hmm.
As far as I don't want their influences influencing me on what I'm doing, if that makes any sense at all. So I don't know. So I sort of unplugged. So I have to plug myself back into the matrix.
Mm.
But
I know a couple of people that do that. They say in the actually a lot of people within sci-fi and fantasy do that. They kind of
yeah,
unplug and don't pay attention to other properties. So that's what you're
I
doing
did
now?
that for years. I did that for years. I don't know, man. It's just I guess once you get in that bubble, you sort of want to get in your own realm. If that makes any sense. But I'm a little bit. I need to do a little bit of catch up. Um, I think no. So what did you think of Runaway? I mean, what did you think of it?
I liked it. I liked it. In fact, I'm trying to see if I could pull up something really quick for the people to see. I'm not familiar with the comic books with the Runaways because I believe this is a based on the
New Mutants? Was it the New Mutants?
no, no, I think it was actually called Runaways, but they dance around with the using the word mutant,
Okay.
and they stopped kind of using it with the whole Fox and different
Oh,
things.
right.
But but yeah, it was pretty good. It's very interesting. The show started out. In fact, I'm gonna pull up something for our folks watching us live. Give us a second. Let's see something. It's very interesting. It started out and it had a very young vibe. That's the best way to
Okay.
describe it. Um, and then it seemed like, and what I mean by that is like for a younger audience.
Gotcha. Right.
And then it seemed like it just tripped over to an older audience. So I think this is something where teenage, early 20s, as well as 30s, 40s, even 50s can enjoy it.
That's
Yeah,
good.
yeah, because they go into the kids' experience, and then they're in high school, and then the parents. And for anyone that doesn't know anything about the Runaways, um, you have a group of kids that used to be cool when they were little. Now they're going through the whole, you know, love, relationships, finding themselves. And, when you get older, sometimes you're not that tight with the kids you grew up with. In fact, you were only friends with them because your parents were friends.
Exactly.
What brings them back together is that they realize that their parents are up to no good. And
That's
they've
the
been
okay. I was getting. All
and
right.
they
I
were
was.
sacrificing other teenagers
What?
to put
Yeah,
energy
that's the thing.
back into this, like, well, you're trying to figure it out. What is he? Is he Satan? Is he just an evil sort? Is he an alien? We don't really know at this point, but we know that he sucks in the energy, and you get a certain amount of teenagers that they sacrifice, and now he's full fledged. He's back in power, ready to do his thing, and becomes
Wow.
young and you know and all that stuff. So it was pretty good. I enjoyed
Wow.
it so far.
How many episodes was it? How many?
I'm 10 episodes. I'm up to episode 8.
All right. So I can cruise to that then.
Yeah,
Okay,
yeah,
get back.
yeah. So
Um.
I'm gonna check out the rest of that. I'm hoping to get to it tonight, but I'm also ladies and gentlemen, yes, I am late with Game of Thrones, and I will have my 2 cents on that once I get through it. I'm working through it.
Yeah, you're the throner on the crew, man. I'm a kind of dropped off the throne a little bit. Uh, what I know, the first episode of Black Lightning came out. I kind of was diving in and out of it, I guess. I don't know. I don't want to sound bad. I don't know if I was looking forward to Black Lightning. I don't know. I guess I'm going to just dive in. I think it's only up to the first episode, if I'm not mistaken.
Okay.
I remember, Black Lightning to me was always. I know they did updated versions, but I remember watching them as a kid, on Super Friends, how they
Mm-hmm.
kind of bring Black Lightning in, but they never really embellished on the storyline. You know what I mean? So when
Mm-hmm.
you would watch that, you would always look for, I guess, some of the other like leading characters. And I think through all time, DC did elaborate, but I kind of fell off of Black Lightning. So this will be like a fresh slate for me before I'm watching it. So, but it's only up to I think the first episode, if I'm not mistaken.
So
For
what's your
Black
take?
Lightning.
For explain to people Black Lightning. Like what is Black Lightning?
Honestly, dude, I can't. I am not an educator on Black. No, seriously, because it was like I said, when I was growing up, you would see him like I would see him on Super Friends,
Right.
and it was like he was always in the back, so it was like never something that I really looked into as far as characters. So this is
Mm-hmm.
actually going to be when I watch it. I mean, I know a little bit about him, but I don't know enough to where it's like getting me all hyped up to go watch it. I really have to buckle myself down and be like, okay, let me just sit down and watch this and see what it's all about. So it's going to be a new experience for me.
Right.
I know like the very, very, very basics, but that's not.
So what's the basis? I mean, what is from what you know? What do you know about Black Lightning?
From what I can see, he had a divorce from his wife, if I'm not mistaken. They have two daughters.
Okay.
Okay, they're living their life. He had retired from being Black Lightning. Now, I don't
Oh.
know how long or how much time passes, but he actually goes back and he gets into the suit. And then he finds out his daughters are actually developing powers.
Oh
And
wow.
I think if you go back into like the comics and the cartoons, they were called Thunder and Lightning, you
Oh.
know. So yeah, and they're out. I think his daughters try to go out and actually fight crime, do like the whole rogue thing,
Mm-hmm.
vigilante type thing, and they run into each other, if I'm not mistaken. And that's how they sort of find out because they didn't know. The ex-wife knew. Because I think he is divorcing. His ex-wife knows that he's Black Lightning, but the daughters never knew.
Okay.
Yeah. So
Wow. Well, I'm looking for,
we'll
but as
see.
far as a show, how's the quality? I mean, did they put as
I
much?
mean, it runs along the same lines as you know, how the Supergirl, Arrow, and things like that. Now, what they were saying is that it's part of that universe, but it's not. But I'm like, Arrows, Flash, Supergirl, they all do their little crossovers and things. So I'm kind of curious to see, are they going to cross Black Lightning over? And more than
Okay.
likely, I don't see why they wouldn't. But they're trying to establish its own. I think some of the main people they fight is like the 100 gang. I think that's like one of the like the crime syndicate
Mm-hmm.
in that series there. But it is part of that universe, so I'm kind of curious to see. Will they say they won't? But I don't see why they wouldn't.
Right.
Yeah.
Well, I mean, in the subways, I am seeing a lot of flyers. This the one particular one I have up right now, which is black and yellow.
Black and yellow, black and yellow.
So that's interesting. So they are. I think they could do better with pushing it. I don't really see commercials for it.
Yeah, that's what I'm see. Now
You
you
know.
see, that's how it was like even before. It was like it wasn't a character. It seemed to me when I was younger, like they really pushed it. Now I didn't really dive into all the comics and everything,
Right.
but it didn't seem like it got the same push as a Batman or a Superman or Flash or some of these, the other characters like that. Kind of was
Right.
in the background. So,
Yeah.
but like I said, I'll give it a shot, check it out, and see. see what it's all about. But I mean, it mimics. I can't say mimic, but it has that whole vibe like Arrow, Flash, and the rest of them.
Okay.
So I think it'll blend in fine. It'll have to find its sea legs. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
It's not probably come out the blocks hitting real good. I mean, all those shows needed to be tuned up to get them to where they are.
Right.
Yeah. I don't because I don't think any of them really came out. I think the only show that really came swinging out the blocks and was like pretty tight was freaking Punisher, man. Punisher seemed like it was on point from the first episode.
What about Flash? You didn't think they did a good job with Flash when they first?
It was all I think being a creator, like you see, I
Mm,
think that's the biggest issue that I have is like when I watch certain things,
right.
I need to watch it more as a fan, more so than from a writer's aspect. And
Okay.
I think that's my fault. That's my fault because I look at things, I'm like, okay, they could have wrote this part better. They could have developed this character more.
Okay.
How come they didn't use this character? You know what I mean? So I'm always watching things, seeing what could be better instead of being
Mm.
like, okay, for what it's worth, it's a decent episode. And I think that's just a creative side of me. So I don't know. I think I watch things a little bit different.
I think
I
the
think you're
only
like that in some cases too.
what do we call that? The CW. My problem with the CW with Flash, Arrow, and they even started doing that in what's the other one called? The
So DC Legends.
right, DC Legends is that they always their go to create depth within a character always seems to be whining and complaining.
I see that.
Where it's like, well, it's my fault, and if I
They're
only,
always that.
taking the world on their show. I get
Yep.
what they're trying to do, but it becomes annoying,
Becomes a
and
crutch.
yeah, and then also with the relationships, like they try to force too many love
Love
stories
stories.
within it, which
Yeah.
I felt was a little too much. So, did you get the same feeling or?
I yeah, I think we all said that, man. Heck yeah. Definitely. I
Okay.
always try to make a love story. Cause when I was watching Flash at one point, I'm like, every episode, oh, it's my fault. I'm sorry, King. Come on, dude. It's like you said that 100 million times already. Get over
Right,
it.
right. And that did creep into Superman a little bit. Within the movies, they almost kind of this whole
Oh, they did that. No, they did that in Justice League, even with Batman. Since when does Batman apologize, man?
yeah, that was
Come on,
ridiculous.
Batman's like, I do what I do, and that's it. It is what it is. He don't apologize.
Yeah, yeah, I don't know where they got that from.
I don't know if they're trying to humanize people more or whatever.
I mean, it's important to create depth, but depth doesn't always, they don't have to always go that particular angle. And a lot of times it doesn't stay true to the character, like a Batman. Batman wouldn't do that.
He wouldn't do
So,
that.
you know, in fact, in front these aliens, Batman, even if he felt some kind of way, he would stay confident and strong, even just to show that he's confident and strong.
Yeah, yeah. He doesn't show the
Right.
weakness. So
Right. Because then they'll
get a
use that
cap,
against him.
get a cap on it.
Right.
They
So,
definitely.
I mean, not to say that this is a commercial, because it's not like we're getting a check for this film, but obviously everyone's buzzing about Black Panther.
I can't wait for that.
There's,
I stopped watching trailers and everything, man. I'm just like, you know what? It's movie time now.
yeah, I don't watch any of the trailers. I avoid them 100%. At this point, it look from what I did see, visually it looks amazing. Um, I just hope it's not like, yay, all these famous black people in this same film. You know what I mean? I hope they didn't rely so much on that
I hope the
because
script holds up to the actors.
I mean they're gonna make their money back the first weekend. This is going to be the largest movie.
This thing's gonna crack some numbers.
This is gonna make the top three movies of all time as far as
I would say top three. I
yeah,
believe so.
top three.
This is
Of
Yeah,
all, yep,
easily.
easily, easily. But it's not just about the numbers for fans. You know, there's definitely going to be a part two. We know that. We already know. They made their money back. There's a lot of
You
theaters
don't
that
think
are
there'll be a
like
part
sold
two?
out. Huh?
You don't think there'll be? You don't think there'll be a part two?
Oh no, it's already written in stone. There's going to be a part two because
Oh, okay. All
it's
right,
almost
that's a good.
so many places are already sold out already. As far as like the after parties, there's a lot of people trying to have events where individuals will dress up as if they're from, you know, yeah,
Wakanda.
yeah. I wasn't trying to mess that up on air.
Wakanda.
Wakanda. So I think that's happening. Awesome blessings to the cast and the crew and the director having the second largest budget for an African American director ever. Um, number one
I
would
just
be,
now I just hope
yep, go ahead.
that it doesn't fall victim to we got this huge budget. You know what I mean? Like sometimes you get the films that get these huge budgets, and then you get the films with smaller budgets that actually put something together better. So I hope that the film matches. I hope
It
it stands up. I'm praying it does. It looks good.
it looks good. I'm saying the worst case scenario is that it's like Thor, Ragnarok. And I
Yeah.
don't believe it'll be that bad because think about it. I mean, even though it has a director, it has the whole staff and team and backing of Marvel. The amount of probably is assistant directors and all the other people involved, they're not going to let it be whack. So as much as the director's probably going to get all the credit, I'm sure there's so much behind him and supporting him that this can't be. It can't be bad. It could probably be just okay, but it can't be bad.
Right. I think they have a they got some big shoes to fill putting out a movie like this. I mean, this is a long time coming for Black Panther. I
Right.
mean, think about it. We've heard this for. I mean, it goes back to the same thing with like Luke Cage.
Mm.
Luke Cage. We heard that for so many years,
Right.
and then when it came out on Netflix, man, it shut the darn servers down. You
Right.
know what I mean? So people were waiting for that. So they definitely, dot your I's, cross all your T's, man.
Right.
And I hope that they did. I believe they did. I don't think they're gonna let this
No, no, there's
let
too
this
much riding on it. I mean, even Stan Lee was like, months into production, he's like, this is probably the largest anticipated Marvel movie
Yeah.
within this whole new, you know,
Oh, I believe so. I
resurgence of
believe so.
films. Yeah. So, yeah, I have no doubt that this is financially, it's already done well so far as far as pre-sales. So,
Oh heck yeah.
um,
I'm talking to people now, and that's man about Panther. So I'm like, it did its job. The promo did its job. I mean, like I said, I
right,
already stopped. I stopped watching
right.
movies a while back. I'm done.
Well, what I hope at this point is I hope that we have the or space is left open for independent. Like I hope this is not one and done. You know what I mean? Like, oh well, this is a Marvel character. I hope this opens the door for a lot of independent and new black characters because Black Panther's an old character.
Very old.
Even what was it, Lightning?
Black
Black
Lightning.
Lightning is an old character.
They're,
Um,
they're, yeah, they've been out for decades.
they've been out for decades. They're staples within those universes. I want to see something new. You know?
See, that's the issue that I have, and I've had this issue for years. And I always say that they need to reach out into the independent market, look for some really good stuff. And there's a lot of it out there, but it's like they keep the doors locked, man. You know what I mean? And it's kind of sad. There's just some great material out there, and I think those people deserve a chance to shine as well. You know what I mean? So I'm
Yeah, I
hoping
could
that
agree with
they'll.
that. Yeah. Well, this is a good chance for that. This
Yeah,
is it.
yeah.
You know, and we know it's gonna do well. So I mean, so yeah, no, we'll see, man. It's interesting not to go back on all the properties that I kind of slept on. I'm glad I took a chance on Runaways. And again, it's like this thing of you're used to these titles, so you run quick to watch it. I didn't know anything about no Runaways. I was like, give it a chance, you know? And it was worth
Right.
checking out. I think it was worth
Yeah.
checking out. So the energy from Stranger Things, I think, opened up the doors to have younger stars, younger actors, but still having complicated stories. And, because usually they simplify things when they have young actors.
Yeah, they're live. I mean, they go through the same thing adults go through.
Right.
you
So,
know.
yeah, so I was happy to see that. And, I mean, there's a lot of Game of Thrones that's offensive, but when you want to think of the times, because I saw like one episode, like maybe 20 minutes of it, and I was like, I don't want to watch this. So, but now going all the way to the beginning, I see where as it develops, you're like, what's going on? And it has the same appeal, at least the first couple episodes, as a Walking Dead.
Oh
And
yeah, I see what you're saying.
because great character, ooh, they're dead. Ooh, great character, ooh, they're dead. And they're like, oh wow. So you every time they introduced something, you were wondering who was going to survive. You didn't know, and
Yeah.
when it was time for them to exit, there was an exit, and I think that's great. That's great writing. You just don't keep a character around just to keep it
Just for
around.
the sake of keeping them.
Yeah, and because this person has a fan base, so we can't kill this character. No, there was definitely a set plan, and they
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 stuck to
stayed to
it.
the plan.
They stuck to it, man.
You
Yeah. Yeah,
know,
man.
and this
Wow.
is why, as a critique, Walking Dead started to losing fans because they're like, oh well, everyone loves these people, so they're gonna keep them around, whatever. So the excitement started to go down. You know,
I think once they whacked Glenn, it was like, okay,
we got to
I
keep
don't
everybody else.
anyone has a chance to go,
Right.
so
Well, finally, because there was a couple seasons where once you added somebody new, you knew that you were going to get rid of that person. Like, oh, I think Drew. Shout out to Drew. They said
what's up, Drew?
what's up, Drew? The the black man rule. Like you can't have more than 3 black men on the series. So once you added a black guy, you know he's gonna die, like in 2 episodes. And I was like, oh man.
It's true. They're probably rolling dice, man.
Yeah,
Okay,
man.
I'm gonna live this week. Nah, this is it for me.
Now I'm the third. I'm the third brother. They gonna get rid of me.
It's true, man.
So that was, you know, it is what it is, man. It is what it is. Walking Dead, AMC. I'm saying. So, but yeah, after Glenn, it was like okay, but Glenn was supposed to die, I think, a long time ago, according to the comic book.
Comics.
They just a lot of fans. They were trying to. So we'll see. Carl got bit by a walker at the end of the last that break in the season. So we'll see if I mean, as far as we know, he's gonna die.
Right.
So that was huge. You figure Andrew Lincoln's character might have died, and then but then again, Kurtman's going to Amazon, so anything is possible at this point. He could just kill everybody off.
Eventually.
Yeah.
Yeah, eventually. So we'll see, man.
Mhm.
We'll
And
see.
see what else is out there that's interesting. What was that series? That space series that some people were talking. It was like bubbling. It's like one word. Is it Enchantment or no? Not Enchantment.
You're not talking about the not the new Star Trek that came out.
No, no.
I don't
I
know.
just couldn't jump into it. It was I'll get that for next week's show, but I thought that was interesting. Oh, Orville.
Orville.
Yeah. So Orville was interesting. Orville, okay, the creator of Family Guy. McFarlane, he created a series called Orville, and Orville, he starts off, he kind of getting in and out of trouble. He's divorced, and he ends up getting an opportunity to get his own ship. Very much like Star Trek. It's like his version of Star Trek. Has that vibe. You know what I'm talking about? Yeah, it was okay, but I couldn't tell how much of a drama it was trying to be and how much of a comedy it was trying to be.
It didn't draw the line.
It was, yeah, it just,
Lines are kind of blurred up a little bit.
it was like straight down the middle. I couldn't, but it wasn't a comedy drama, but yet, and he plays the character very straight.
Him, though.
Say it again?
You would think, McFarlane, you think it would be coming from him.
I think that kind of threw me off, but then I said, well, you know what? He's acting. Let that go. Let him do his thing. But that was it was okay. I mean, it wasn't enough there to draw me back, but it was like a ode to Star Trek. So if you're a Star Trek fan, so it feels very nostalgic in a way. So
you think he's a Trekkie and not a Star Wars?
I know. True.
So the truth comes out.
So anyone with comments, do you like Orville? Let me know. Do you like The Runaways? Did I take too long to watch Game of Thrones? Or if someone said, you know what, you should just stay away, let me know. Leave those comments. We're interested. Any other shows? And I think it is important to go back and to check out older stuff.
There's so much stuff out there, man.
Yeah.
It's hard to watch everything.
Right.
There's just so much stuff out there. So you kind of have to pick and choose.
Yeah. So awesome. Well, of course, we will keep you up to date. There are fanfares coming up, Fanfare Con. Google that, check that out. If you don't have the links, hit us up. We'll give you the links. You definitely want to support. It's an awesome event. It's not your normal Comic-Con. And we got to talk about this during the show. You can't say Comic-Con.
Yeah.
Like-
I heard that.
Yeah, so we'll
BS is that, man?
yeah, we'll go through that. What else?
Well,
There's some other good stuff.
Batman, Wonder Woman anymore either, man.
You can't say what?
Can't say Superman, Batman, Wonder Woman either.
Probably not. Oh man. But of course, you're watching Eclecticka. Thank you so much. Thank you, Charles.
Always a pleasure.
And I'm Seven, and we will catch you next time watching and talking.